Ambassador Zekthar's three hearts nearly stopped beating simultaneously as the human delegation's leader, Admiral Sarah Chen, rose from her seat at the Galactic Council's most sacred negotiation chamber. The ornate crystalline hall, which had witnessed the resolution of countless conflicts over millennia, fell into a silence so profound that even the ambient hum of the station's life support systems seemed deafening. "We're done here," Admiral Chen announced, her voice carrying the weight of finality that made the assembled representatives from 47 species collectively shudder. She gathered her datapad with deliberate calm, her movements precise and controlled in that uniquely human way that had unnerved the galaxy for the past century. The Veltari ambassador, his translucent skin shifting from diplomatic blue to alarmed, Violet stammered through his vocal synthesizer. "Admiral Chen, surely we can reach some accommodation. The hegemony's terms are negotiable." Chen's laugh was dry, humorless. "Negotiable?" She turned to face the assembly, and Zekthar noted how every being in the chamber instinctively leaned back. "You call the systematic dismantling of human colonies negotiable? The forced relocation of 12 billion people reasonable terms? High." Counselor Mortis of the hegemony, his chitinous form clicking with what his species considered authoritative confidence, spoke without rising. "The humans must understand their place in the galactic order. They are newcomers, barely 3 centuries since first contact. The established powers have maintained peace for—" "Peace." The word cracked like a whip from Chen's lips. "You call this peace? Your established order has been built on the subjugation of 73 species over the past 2 millennia. The only difference is that we're the first to say no." Zekthar's tentacles writhed nervously. As the Galactic Council's chief mediator, he had overseen thousands of negotiations, but none had ever felt this precarious. The humans had been an anomaly from the moment they'd stumbled into galactic society, aggressive, unpredictable, and utterly unwilling to accept the traditional hierarchies that kept the galaxy stable. "Admiral," Zekthar interjected, his voice carefully modulated to project calm authority, "please reconsider. If humanity withdraws from these negotiations, the consequences will be severe. The hegemony has legitimate concerns about human expansion, your military buildup, your refusal to accept galactic oversight of your research programs." Chen's aide, a lean man with the cold eyes Zekthar had learned to associate with human military intelligence, whispered something in her ear. The Admiral's expression hardened further if such a thing were possible. "Legitimate concerns," she repeated, slowly. "Let me share some legitimate concerns of our own." She activated her datapad, and a holographic display materialized above the negotiation table. "These are casualty reports from the police actions your hegemony has conducted against human settlements in the past 6 months. 17 colonies bombarded from orbit, 4 million dead. Men, women, children vaporized because they refused to abandon worlds they'd spent generations terraforming." The display shifted, showing fleet movements, shipping manifests, communication intercepts. "And here's our intelligence on your negotiation strategy. You never intended to reach an agreement. This entire proceeding was a delaying tactic while you positioned your fleets for a final assault on human space." Murmurs rippled through the assembly. The hegemony's representative maintained his composure, but Zekthar caught the subtle shift in his stance that indicated surprise among his species. "How did they—" Mortis began, then caught himself. "How did we know?" Chen smiled, and the expression was predatory. You made the same mistake everyone makes with humans. You assumed we think like you. You assumed we'd play by your rules, accept your timeline, respect your ancient protocols. You forgot that we're a species that went from wooden sailing ships to splitting atoms in less than 2 centuries. You forgot that we don't do things the way they've always been done. She gestured, and her aide began transmitting data to the delegation's ships. While you've been posturing and making speeches about the natural order, we've been busy. The Sol Defense Fleet isn't just in Sol anymore. Our rapid deployment forces have been positioning themselves throughout the galaxy for the past 8 months. Our industrial capacity has tripled. Our allies, yes, we have those too, species you've forgotten or dismissed, have been coordinating their own preparations. The chamber erupted. Representatives from dozens of species began speaking. At once, their various forms of communication creating a cacophony of clicks, whistles, harmonic tones, and translated speech. Zekthar's specialized hearing organs automatically filtered through the chaos, picking up fragments. Impossible! Our intelligence networks, how many ships, should have detected... Admiral Chen remained standing calmly in the center of the storm until the noise gradually subsided. When she spoke again, her voice carried easily through the vast chamber. You wanted to know humanity's place in the galactic order? Here it is. We don't accept your order. We're not asking for permission anymore. We're not seeking accommodation or compromise. We tried that for 50 years, and it got us genocidal police actions and ultimatums disguised as negotiations. She began walking toward the chamber's exit, her delegation falling into step behind her. When you're ready to deal with humanity as equals, truly equals, not junior partners in your ancient power games, we'll be listening. Until then, you can explain to your populations why the galaxy is about to learn what human-style warfare really looks like. Zekthar rose desperately. Admiral, please, if you leave now, if humanity withdraws from the galactic community... Chen paused at the chamber's threshold and looked back one final time. Mediator Zekthar, humanity never withdrew from anything. You've simply discovered that we were never truly part of your community to begin with. We were just waiting for the rest of you to realize it. The door sealed behind the human delegation with a resonant chime that sounded to Zekthar's increasingly panicked mind remarkably like a funeral bell. In the silence that followed, 47 species tried to comprehend a galaxy where the rules had just fundamentally changed. Outside the station, human ships that had seemingly appeared from nowhere began broadcasting a single message across all frequencies. This is Admiral Sarah Chen of the Terran Federation. Effective immediately, humanity is withdrawing from all Galactic Council accords and treaties. Any hostile action against human interest will be met with immediate and proportional response. We didn't want this war, but we'll damn sure finish it. The age of accommodation was over. The age of humanity had begun.